Hey yo, you already know the vibes, man. We back here. It's Ayo KO, and it's another video featuring BeamNG. But today we're here to talk about the new G90 M5. I just want to gauge everybody's perception on it and what they're feeling about the car, and just what do they think it's gonna bring to the table for BMW as a brand. Because as much as, and I'll always admit, the 3 Series and I guess now 4 Series as well, which is still really a 3 Series, but that's another subject for another day. The 3 Series being BMW's best performance car and performance platform, just all around just being the best from BMW. But the M5 is like if you took the best and just give it more of an abundance of just unnecessary power, but also giving it more space and just more executive, bigger car feel, more boss kind of feel. Not necessarily the limousine type style of the 7 Series, but a little bit more grown up or more matured from a 3 Series. But yeah, I just wanted to just make a video talking about the new M5, the G90, as well as the I guess G65 series. And I guess we could just do all of that in the same video. But yeah, as we can see here today, just got just the last couple generations of M5. So I don't have all of them here, obviously. There's a few missing. I believe it's the E34 and the E28. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we are missing a few generations of M5. But I'd say we have people's favorite. Like we have all of people's favorite generation anyway. We have the F90, that purple car right there, the F90. We have the F10. Oh, that F90 is an LCI. This F10 is an LCI. And LCI stands for Life Cycle Impulse, or BMW's way of saying a facelift. This is also a late model E60 M5. A lot of people's favorite, having the V10 S85, as you can see on the license plate. And then we have the E39 right here, which I feel out of this group is the best sounding. But hear me out, and here's why I think so. I think the E39 is the best sounding M5 because even though the E60 is a much more unique, raw race car type of sound, it doesn't fit that car. Like, you hear an F1 car coming down the street, and then you turn around and you see a sedan. And it's like, huh? It makes you scratch your head. It's definitely eye catching. It's unique. It's very different. It sets it apart from the more monster truck, burbly kind of sound of an AMG or anything else in this segment. So it's definitely more unique. And I feel like that's something, especially in starting in the E60, was definitely apparent about the M5. It's very much more unique, or it tries to be much more unique than its competition. Like competition is usually supercharged V8, naturally aspirated V8, turbocharged V8, but they all sound like monster trucks, and it's like they sound thunderous, which I'm not mad at. But they kind of just did something different with the E60 in a way where it's like we're gonna set ourselves apart. Did it kind of backfire with those rod bearings and throttle body actuator issues? Maybe, but once you get past that part, it's a great car. But the reason why I say the E39 I feel is the best sounding is because the E39 I don't question I don't question this car when I hear that sound. Like, I don't hear that sound come from this car and think that doesn't sound right or that doesn't look right. Like I could see E39 M5, and I seen one that looked a lot like this, and he had like a resonator delete or something, but he stepped on it, and I'm looking for a NASCAR. I'm like, what is that? E39 M5, and then I guess we can step it up to the F10, and a lot of things changed. A lot of things changed. I feel like this is a mod, so you can't really pick it up, but you can kind of even see just the size. The size of the car, it just seems like a larger vehicle. It's just a lot more road presence. Just takes up a lot more space. But what I will give the F10, I feel like it's the perfect balance of timelessness as well as like modern technology. It's like the perfect balance. Like It's not the newest, but it's not the oldest. It has the analog gauges. Not too much screens in the interior where it can get outdated. It has one screen, but which car would be more outdated? The car with one screen that can get outdated, or a car with two, three, or four screens? But no, it's a clean interior. It looks nice. Um, Very nice place to be in the F10, definitely. Ask me how I know. Um, E60 interior. It's like you took the F10 and just stepped it back a few years, but definitely clean, definitely clean. Don't know how it has white floors, but I'm not mad at it. Would not want to clean that. And you got the E39. I'm sitting up like a soccer mom right now, just all up in the steering wheel, I guess. But yeah, this interior is clean. The E39 is clean. Like when you see the E39, you can almost see exactly where the F10 came from. Like you can almost skip the E60 generation and still connect this interior with the F10. I must have broke something because this thing's already sounding off. So that's great. And then what I feel might be everyone's favorite, we got the F90, and this is also, if I'm not mistaken, this is where they started doing the whole splitting the M car from the 5 Series things with the generation or chassis identification, where the the 5 Series of this generation is the G30, and it's also where the that's not important, but I was gonna say something about the M550i, but they had M550Ds and they had M550Ds in a few generations ago, so I won't mention the M550i. This is an M5 video anyway, so we won't talk about that. M550is do sound better than M5s. Argue with your mama, you're not gonna argue with me. Leave it in the comments how you feel. I'm standing on that. N63s, which are in M550is, sound better than S63s, which are in the M5. Don't at me. Don't argue with me. Argue with yourself. But seriously, this is the F90 right here. And this is also a LCI, so just has the much more updated look, updated bumper, grille. I think the grille's the same actually. Headlights, tail lights. The F10 over here is trying to copy it. But also, if the keen eye of you might notice that F10. I don't know if it's mimicking it or trying to, but the F10 is supposed to be a pure metal edition F10. So not just a regular M5, but a little bit more special. But this F90, now I feel like the F10 is like the perfect combination of M5 generations when it comes to like tech as well as performance, but the F90 is definitely when it kind of took away from that timelessness, where it kind of switched to the more tech fest kind of setup, and it's definitely more focused on higher performance and like a lot more newer technology, which you can see in the interior. It has a digital dash and everything now. Nice little rumble from that. And yeah, you can see where they kind of stepped away from things that would keep it timeless, and more so, let's get more performance and let's get more screens. Full digital dash and everything. Just not necessarily my favorite generation of M5, but I do like that car. I like that F90. It is where they also switched to all-wheel drive. They switched to all-wheel drive, and they switched to all-wheel drive in that car and added the MX drive, so you could switch from all-wheel drive to just a rear-wheel drive mode, which kind of made that car unbeatable. Because in this generation, in the F10, rear wheel drive only, right? This is rear wheel drive. There's no all wheel drive. So like, if you didn't get this, you can get an all wheel drive 550i. For the F10, you get an all wheel drive 550i, and it's like, if you know what you're doing, you could really make that a M5 competitor. M5's still better though. Let's be honest. Performance-wise, it's still better. I have a 550i. Like I've had one, modified it. I had a tune, catalyst downpipes, everything. M5 is still better than a 550i. Like there's no competition there. But that all-wheel drive will get you off the line. Right here we got the F10 started up. Oh, this guy overzealous right here. That SMG transmission, man. Almost took me out. And we got the E39. Just clean. But E39, we're going to have to step back to fire this one up. This one's a loud boy right here. Yeah, E39 is no joke. That is no, you probably can't even hear me. You can't hear a word I'm saying. No, I was saying you probably can't hear me because that's no joke right there. That thing is loud. But I think the car we're gonna take, I'm taking the pure metal M5. Let's take this. Let's take this car out. This thing is loud. I guess while we're here, let's add a little bit of traffic back. Just why not? But anyway, let's go on to this new G90 car, right? I guess the first thing I want to talk about is the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room would be the weight. Like, it's just a very heavy car. Like it's so much heavier than the M5. It's the outgoing M5 has like what? I think it has like 30, like 1,200 more pounds than the outgoing M5, and like the power to weight ratio of that versus the F90 is ridiculous. Oof, at DCT. At DCT, man. Sheesh. But I definitely just I don't think BMW is going in the right direction with adding this much weight, because it's like, oh, they have the EV power now, and it's like, that's great. You have the EV car, you have the EV, but it's like you sacrifice some of the power from the S63 engine, which made like 637 horsepower in its most potent form. We all know it made more than that in the M5 CS. That M5 CS had to have been making like 700 horsepower. Let's be honest. That thing was making 700. It had to have been making 700 horsepower. That thing was more like 637 wheel horsepower. They're not fooling me. But they went from that to the new S68, and the S68 has what, 585, 575, something like that. And the rest of it is filled in with the EV power. But it's like, you can't tell me to make what, 50, 60 horsepower from the EV, or excuse me, 150, like 150 horsepower from the EV. You can't tell me that it was necessary for you to add like 1,200 pounds to the car. There's no way that makes sense. 1,200 pounds? Like, come on now. Like, no, that's ridiculous. That is friggin' ridiculous. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, that's so much weight, and it's like, the M5 is supposed to be like one of the most ultimate saloons that you can buy. In reality, is it when it comes to lap times? Because let's be honest, if we were to switch to like the F90 and talk about that, when it comes to lap times, the CS came out what 2022. Let's think of any other sedan. Let's see. I don't know. GT63S 4-door. Yeah, that car took the Nürburgring lap record from what the Panamera Turbo S that had 630 horsepower. The GT63S 4-door took the lap record at the Nürburgring for saloons from that Panamera, and that came out in 2019. CS came out in 2022. Couldn't take that. Also, something that people actually don't know: the CT5e Blackwing can actually keep up, if not pass, an M5 CS on almost any track you put it on. Like, I'm not saying it's a complete wash, but it's almost, it's not automatic. It could go to either one, but it's usually in favor of the CT5e Blackwing, or in this case, CTSV, the third generation, so V3. That you could put that next to a F10. F10 will get obliterated. You could put that V3 next to an F90 on track. It still go to the CTSV. You put a F90 CS out there, and like the F90 CS could probably be the CTSV V3, but a Blackwing, nah, not at all. But it's not about lap times. Like, just the driving dynamics. The M5 definitely is about driving dynamics. Also being a burnout machine. And they kept that. Like, they didn't lose that part. They're definitely all about being a burnout machine. Hold on. Let me take out some of this traffic. Messing up the game right now. It's definitely still about being a burnout machine. But it's not necessarily, it's not the same. Like, it has that part, but it's like all this added weight, and then you come out and the car is slower. Like, you switch to the EV, you switch all that EV nonsense, you do all this hybrid technology, and now the car is slower. Like, usually when they do the EV thing, up top, like top speed runs and stuff like that, with like EVs never help out in that area. They like, whenever you have a car that's an EV, and let's say it's a more everyday car, let's say the top speed is around like between 160 and 200 miles an hour. Any car that's an EV with a top speed like at 200 or less, that motor, that electric motor, is not really assisting that car anymore over 130 miles an hour. Anything over 130 miles an hour, you're not gonna feel that. So it's like, usually car manufacturers, if they make an EV car, it's supposed to assist on that low end torque, fill in torque gaps, fill in like the gaps in power between shifts. Even though transmission technology is out of this world at this point, but like, that's what these EV motors are for. And it's like, okay, you can do all of that, but 1,200 pounds, there's no hiding that. And all these journalists, like, I feel like they're biting their tongues because they don't want to get on BMW's naughty list or whatever. But they're telling everybody like, oh, the drive, it doesn't feel like it's as heavy as it is. And it's like, okay, that's great. A 5,300 pound car doesn't feel like 5,300 pounds. It feels like 4,900 pounds. That's still a lot of money. I mean, excuse me. Well, we don't even want to talk about the money right now. It's still a lot of weight. Like 40, like, it's heavier than a Bentley, and it's not as fast. And get out your feelings before you get into them. Get out your feelings. M5s were never as fast as Bentleys. They never were. All right, they're not. Even today, they're not. M5, a Bentley Continental or a Bentley Flying Spur will outrun an M5 up top. You have the quickness down low, and that's another thing. People can't seem to differentiate quickness from fast or top speed. 0 to 60s, quarter miles, eighth miles, 60 to 130s. That is not about speed. I mean, excuse me, it's all about speed. It's not about, that's not fast. Like, those are metrics of quickness. Like, if my car does 60 to 130 in 3 seconds, That is a very quick car. That car is quick. It accelerates quickly. When Bugatti, Koenigsegg, Hennessy, SSE, and anyone else sets a top speed record, are they saying I have the quickest car on the planet? No, they say I have the fastest car on the planet. So saying you have a fast car and you're not talking about top speed doesn't make sense. But anyway, these EV or like EV assisted performance cars are supposed to be quicker off the line, you know? But I feel like, and even in the numbers, BMW took a step back and they're over here trying to say the car can do this, that, and the third and whatnot. Like, oh, it's not that bad. It can do this, that, and the third. But it's like you have 727 horsepower, which is what? 110 more horsepower than the original F90 base M5. I think that had 617 or something like that, or maybe even less. And then the competition has like what, 627. And you're trying to tell me basically definitely 100 more horsepower and you're slower. What was the point of adding the weight? What was the point? There was no point in adding the weight. I'm confused. BMW, they're losing me. Like, they added the weight for what? I just don't understand what the goal was. You added all that weight and now the car is slower. Like, I don't know. I feel like they had to do something. And I'm just like, I get it, emission standards and regulations and everything's getting tighter and all these restrictions and whatnot. Restrictions. Like, everything's getting crazy now. But I don't know, man, because Audi just came out with a new RSQ8 that's basically an Urus, because that thing has 640 horsepower. The RSQ8 Performance, 640 horsepower, no EV, just straight engine. It's brand new. Like AMG doubled down. They got a new GT63 Pro, all engine, no EV, like 602 horsepower. I don't understand why BMW had to do this, but I guess it's M5 is a popular car, so they're gonna sell a lot, so it's gonna be a large units. But this new M5, I don't know. People are still gonna buy it regardless. Like, people are gonna buy it, but I just don't know. I think it starts at like 120,000 or something like that. Like, I don't know about this new M5, man. The weight is out of control. The price point is questionable at best, because anybody that's into cars knows that you don't need $100,000 to get a fast car anymore. I can give you an example of getting a fast car for $30,000. Matter of fact, I bet nobody can think about the car I'm thinking about right now. Nobody can tell me the car I'm thinking about right now. Let's see. You could find in America, in the USA, you could find for I don't know, $25,000. Looks a lot like this. And yeah, you could buy one of those for $25,000, $27,000 with intakes, downpipes, and probably intercoolers. Give it a nice tune. That's about what, $5,000? Not even. $3,500 if you can do the work yourself and just pay for the tune. And you can make a 720 odd rear wheel horsepower car. We're looking at it. You could buy an F10 M5 right now for like $25,000. Throw $5,000 into it. It's a 700 rear wheel horsepower car. You don't need $100,000 to buy performance. We already know this. So it's like, what are you spending the what are you spending the $100,000 for? Like, you know, it doesn't make sense. And then look, this car looks good. I swear this car looks good. But it's like, what are you spending the money on? Like, what are you really getting? And the interior, the new interior, I don't like it. I'll be honest. I was gonna try and big it up. I don't like it. You compare it to like a F90 interior. Let's find one right now. Let's find a nice F90 interior. And here we have another F90, and let's check out the interior. Very quiet F90, by the way. Not loud whatsoever. Yeah, kind of loud. But yeah, this is the F90 interior. Nice place to be, right? Digital dash, head-up display. You know, you got the infotainment. Not sure where I am, but that is what it is. Ambient lights. This has the what is this, the Bowers and Wilkins audio. So yeah, definitely a nice place to be. Yeah, this is nice. BMW interiors, they've been okay to me. They never really said wow or like anything like that to me. So there's that. Um, I don't know. I feel like other than that, it's just yeah, like how do you guys feel about the new G90 interior? Like, is it worth it? Do you feel like this interior is already too old? I will admit, even though that this iDrive 7 in this gauge cluster, that's my favorite BMW gauge cluster for the fully digital dash anyway. Definitely my favorite. It came out in the 2020 5 series for us in the USA anyway. I definitely prefer this to any other 5 series dash that has like when it comes to being fully digital anyway. But how do you guys feel about the iDrive 8, the big TV screen kind of setup, the widescreen setup? I don't know if it's a step in the right direction. I don't know. I don't know what BMW's direction is. I don't know where they're trying to take the brand right now because I feel like they're trying to bet on the fact that the same way people kind of dislike the pig nose G80 M3s when they came out, you know, and then it turned out everybody loved them because they had crazy performance. It's like maybe they're hoping this new M5 is the same story, but they already proved and they spilled their guts when they showed the car and it's slower. Like the G80 M3, that thing was blistering when it came out. It came out and it would literally it would blow the doors off of F80. And that was the 2021, 2022. They bring out the X Drive, and it's over with. The one's X Drive and it's MX Drive, the same one that's in this M5. Watch, you see that 2-wheel drive mode? 2-wheel drive mode. You can light it up, and then switch right back to all-wheel drive mode. But this thing makes so much power. It's real wise. It makes so much power. It's ridiculous. But I'm saying, like, they added the same MX drive to the M3 in 2022. Now it's like F80s and anything else is obsolete next to that in terms of performance. So, like, what is there to really talk about? And then, you know, BMW kind of, I think they kind of screwed over the M3 guys because literally every year it came out with something new. You don't believe me? Watch. 2021 G80 M3 comes out. 2022 the X-Drive G80 M3 comes out. 2023 X-Drive G80 with a new widescreen interior with iDrive 8. 2024 the Touring comes out. No, I think that came out in 2023 actually. That's 3 or 4. 4, yeah, that's a 2024 car. 2024 the Touring comes out. 2025 a facelift comes out. Another facelift. So now the exterior is a facelift and the interior has a facelift. So they literally change that car every year. The M4 guys, it wasn't as bad. I think they had like a year off or so. Like 2022, the M4 X Drive came out, and then 3, that the M4 didn't change whatsoever. They just brought out the CSL, so they didn't really impact the M4 interior or anything like that. It didn't really impact the competition guys. So 2022 and the 2023 M4 comp is like identical. 2025 facelift. So M4 is not as bad. The M3, terrible. They got screwed over every year. The moment you buy M3, literally the one next year has even better stuff. But that's besides the point. What is BMW going to do with this 5 Series, man? Like, somebody please shed some light. If you know something, please let us know in the comments. Like, what are they going to do? Because Like, is there? There's no word of a competition coming out. There's nothing about a competition coming out. Everyone's talking about, oh, when the CS version comes out, I'm sure it'll be better. Like, you know what CS stands for? Competition sport. What is sporty about that car? Besides the wide body, I will give it that. You see these little flat quarter panels and fenders on this thing? Yeah, they're not that aggressive looking. The G90 has a factory wide body. I'll appreciate that. I'll give it its credit. But other than that, like, what is it besides the sporty stance? I don't know about the whole look, but the stance is very sporty. Like, what do we think? What do we think it's gonna do? Like, do you guys think a competition version needs to come out where it sheds a lot of weight and then it's insanely good? Do you think BMW purposely made it this heavy so that when other iterations come out, they could just shed weight simply and then don't have to add any power, to shed weight 2, 3, 500 pounds at a time and just pretty much make it like a brand new car almost because it's so much lighter? Do you think they made it heavy on purpose? Like, what do you guys think the direction is? Because right now, the design language is hit and miss. Right now, they're missing. So hopefully a hit is around the corner. Looks wise, I don't know. Performance wise, I really don't know. Heritage, yeah, we don't even want to talk about that. Sound wise, M5s haven't sounded good since the E60 and the E39, so who cares about sound, I guess. And I don't know, man. I don't know. BMW has a lot of explaining to do, I'll tell you that much. Because this new G90, it's a piece of something. It's a piece of work, but I don't know, man. But what I will do, I'll give you guys a little pull on this. Yeah, this thing hard. That suspension work. What the hell? Oh, this thing is fast. I don't remember this car being this fast. Just like a BMW, about to overheat. I forgot how fast this thing is. Yes, it's miles per hour. That's how fast BMW guys think their cars really are. It's crazy. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. But I'm gonna check out with this one. It's another video from AOKO. Just let me know what you guys think about this new G90, man. Is it a hit? Is it a miss? Do you think there's something in the pipeline? Let me know. Other than that, safe up and stay sturdy, man. Also, I just want to talk about something real quick. I am going to be starting up a automotive consultation type of business. So basically what that would entail is anybody that has any questions when it comes to the car buying process or what type of cars they want to buy, what's the best year, best generation, best options, things like that. If you know anybody in America that's looking to just speak with somebody about like what car they want to buy and like how they should go about it, new cars versus used cars, should you care so much about warranty, should the warranty be end all be all, just things like that. I will be starting up a new business for this consultation, just helping people out. At this point right now, it would be free, but because again, it's just in it's in its infancy right now, so I'll just be starting it up. But yeah, let me know what you guys would think. Let me know if anybody needs help. Just looking for a car, and definitely just reach out. I'm going to be starting it up soon, so I don't have everything set up yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start leaving my contact information where you guys can reach out and just hit me up and let me know if you wanted to just speak with somebody or just needed help looking at certain cars that you want to get into or certain cars you want to buy. Other than that, again, I'm going to let you guys go. Let me know what you guys think about the G90 M5. And yeah, safe up, stay sturdy, man.